Yo, what is up guys, DukeOfDC here, and welcome to another video. I am here, back again, at Twig Cycles in Hagerstown, Maryland. I cannot thank them enough. I have hopefully inserted a very cool little interview with one of the dudes here, who is very brushed up on this beautiful 2018 Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE.
I'm in love with your body.
Hi everybody, my name is Joe. I work here at Twig Cycles in Hagerstown, Maryland. What we have here is our Kawasaki H2 SX Special Edition. This is a factory supercharged 1000cc motorcycle. The special edition gets you the really nice metallic green and metallic black paint. You get LED cornering lamps, you get a lot of nice features to it. Ridiculous amount of horsepower and torque on this motorcycle, but it's still pretty comfortable. This is their touring version. So you've got a decent sized seat, you've got riser style handlebars, nice seating position. You get really good display. You can choose your display. They've got different sport settings for the display, or you can use a touring setting, shows you different sets of information. You've got heated hand grips, you've got cruise control, you've got a quick shifter up and down, traction control, launch control, braided steel brake lines. You get a taller windscreen, a little bit more wind protection. So it's just a really nice overall package. Of course, the factory offers color-matched hard saddlebags if you want to do some touring on a motorcycle. Just a really, really impressive piece of machinery. And again, it is factory supercharged, really good horsepower, revs up nice and quick, very manageable power. Power's there when you need it, but it'll poke along in traffic if you need it to without getting out of hand. MSRP on this is $22,000, and I believe we have it on sale right now for $19,900. So we have a thin film transistor display, and you can see the different colors. You have a mode button, so a quick click can take you from daytime to nighttime. And then over on the other hand, you have menu settings here. You can, if you hold your mode button, that will take you into your setup screen, and you can choose if you want English or metric. You can set your brightness. You can choose your display mode. And right now it is in Sport 2. We've got Sport 1, and that shows your boost and your throttle position. We have Touring mode, which is a completely different look. Sport 2 is boost and braking position, and Sport 3 hides all of that so you don't have any distractions on the screen. I'm partial to Sport 1 for boost and throttle position, and it just shows you a percentage over here. It's a bar graph that lights up as you twist the throttle and as the boost comes up. And you click mode to go back into your scroll. You can choose black or white, and of course that's done with a quick clip. You can go shift lamp on or off. You can check what revolution level you want the light to come on. Your engine braking control, your quick shift on or off, your cornering lamps on or off, your clock setting and your date setting, and then you can reset it to your factory settings. And then if you hold your mode button again, reset no, hold this, and it will take you back into your standard display. And again, this is the sports setting that shows boost and throttle. Not sure if, yep. So as you twist the throttle, it shows you how far you're in, and then your boost will come up as the engine boost raises. You also have your lean angle here. It will show you where you're leaning from side to side. And that shows the maximum lean. It will log how far you have leaned it since you reset it, kind of like a trip odometer. Your vehicle mileage, trip A, trip B, and then again, it's a bar graph for your lean angle.
Okay.
So really nice displays, good bit of information without being totally distracting.
And the analog tack.
Yep, you got your analog tack with your regular warning lights. You have your heated grip control over here. So you push it and it is blinking 5 times, so that means it's on the highest. Click it again. Actually, I think you hold it.
And then it would go down.
And it'll change 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for how hot you want your hands to be. Nice touring feature. Headlight control, high beam, low beam, flash to pass. Of course, you've got your adjustable levers for your hydraulic clutch and your front brake. You've got 3-way adjustment on your front forks. You also have 3-way adjustment on your rear suspension. So you can set this up to be a track bike with nice precise handling, or you can soften everything up, get a nice cruising position, not gonna beat you up if you're out on regular paved roads. Of course, they do all of the detail stuff too. You get braided steel lines. You're not gonna have rubber hoses that are gonna expand if you hammer the brakes. They do give you a power outlet so you can plug in your GPS or charge your cell phone. Or GoPro if you're running a camera. Just really, really nice passenger accommodations with a crazy amount of power. So it's a real world race bike.
It's a lot of information, and there's a lot to go over with that bike, so hopefully he's gone through everything that you're curious about from a statistical point, and I'm just gonna hop on and take it for a ride. Hell yeah, we got it started. Okay, so before we go literally anywhere, let's just figure out what we've got here. So, tons of buttons, heated grips, those are gonna be a must today. Power is in L mode. Power is F, M, L. Let's go in full mode. It sounds kind of bad, to be honest. Let's see what she's got. She's got power, I'll give her that. And more impressive than how much power it has is the way that that power is delivered. It's such a unique feeling though. It has a huge amount of engine braking if you're above 4,000 RPM. Below it, it's almost non-existent. You know, I wasn't considering this to be a bike I was going to be able to flat foot, but I'm flat footing it very easily. It feels long. It's just so ridiculously quick. I mean, effortless. Effortless. The speed limit is just you get there in a heartbeat. Absolute monster of an engine. It's certainly not as smooth as a lot of the beautiful inline fours that I've been on, whether it be German or Japanese. And it doesn't quite have the same torque that the new V4s have, which is so interesting. So this is genuinely the black sheep of motorcycling as a whole, rather than just being the black sheep of Kawasaki. It appears to be trying to carve out a niche that might not need to exist. The sport touring bike that is just massively powerful. It's comfortable as hell, I'll give it that, you know. Hands on the bars, butt in the seat, ergonomics are on point. No pinch points for me. It's a crisp 55 degrees right now, so I doubt that I'll feel any of the heat from the supercharger. Something that I've read that, you know, this bike does produce a little bit more heat than your average motorcycle. Oh my god, it feels so unsteady. I mean, like, it feels quite odd turning it into a corner, even at low speed. It almost feels like the front end wants to go, but the back end wants to skirt along like in some sort of welded drift car. But any concerns you have about its turning abilities melt away the minute you twist that wrist. I'm telling you. Even in the low range, which is where I'm going to be spending majority of this test ride, the power is mental. I mean, It's up there with the bikes that I've ridden that are the best of the best, the most powerful and lightweight, which is another thing that this doesn't necessarily have going for it. You know, they've added a supercharger, sure, but they've certainly not cut weight. This is a sport touring motorcycle. It weighs over 500 pounds. It's not lightweight by any means. The 200 horsepower certainly makes the 500 pounds move along pretty quickly, but you start feeling it really badly in the turns. It's not a nimble motorcycle. Not at all. The quick shifter is very smooth. I can only assume it gets smoother the higher you get into the rev range, but even on about quarter to third throttle, between 4,000 and 6,000 RPM, butter. This little boost gauge is pretty interesting. 115, 130. It actually feels smoother in those crazy low speed parking lot turning situations than it does when you're going about 25, 30 miles per hour in a decent bend. It's very interesting to me. That's a pretty gorgeous view though. I wouldn't mind to live over here. The wind protection is above average. This is a pretty large windscreen, albeit stock. I am certain you can get an aftermarket one that would cover more of your helmet, although I don't think I've gotten hardly any buffeting this entire time. It makes it very easy to go from this upright, comfortable position to a very sporty forward stance for more high-speed maneuvers. How interesting, on a turn like that, this lean angle shows that I'm halfway. Right there, it's showing that I'm going into orange. Which just goes to tell you that even Kawasaki engineers didn't want you to really turn much on this. Okay, but this is where it shines. And shine it does. Front wheel came up twice. The wheelie control most certainly came into play there. I could feel it cut power and kind of slam the wheel down. It's an absolute rocket ship. Let's drop a couple gears. It also revs so ridiculously quick. I mean, on other motorcycles that I've been on, you know, whether it be V4s or inline 4s, they don't rev nearly as fast as this does. That is very cool and very fast. I will say the buttons here are not the most intuitive that I've used. I would say that that still lies with BMW. I love the way that they lay their buttons out. I think everything is really well signed for in terms of what labeling they use. On this, you know, it's pretty straightforward. I assume if I press that down, it gives me the option to then set. And now, yes, cruise control. Cruise control's always been pretty simple on bikes. It's 99% the same on most motorcycles. There's a main toggle switch, a down to set, and then you can up or down to increase, decrease your speed, and then anything, you know, clutch, brake, etc. will break that. Hit the big toggle button to turn it off completely. Over here on the left, we've got heated grips, we've got our flashers, you know, we've got the horn, hazards, turn signals, and then you've got a couple buttons here that are supposed to be for this TFT display. Now, power is something that I believe you're supposed to hold down. Then the F starts flashing there. Now I can change that to M. And then if I come off throttle, it seems to lock it in. So F being the most power. And I do believe you can cut the power by 50% in the lowest setting, which would make this a very, very docile motorcycle depending on how the fueling is when it's at half power. It has an auto blipper, seems to work pretty well. This is going to be a very brief test ride because I have been given the opportunity to ride this as almost a treat. Not many people are getting opportunities to demo these motorcycles. You know, it takes not necessarily a great rider, but someone who certainly has some self-control and maybe a relationship with the dealer. There's that whistle. That is intoxicating, actually. I could get used to that, and I'm certain that with an aftermarket exhaust, you can make her chirp even louder. I'm gonna leave it on too. I want you guys to kind of hear this. My mustache socks, you see those? It's starting to pull on them. Okay, so listen to this. I don't know if I like it or not. It actually sounds pretty damn good. It's a very interesting bike. I'm not entirely sure if I like it or not, to be honest, but maybe that's just because it's so far from what I like in my motorcycles. I don't love long wheelbases. I've always loved shorter wheelbase motorcycles. I think that they're just more nimble and there's more response for the rider. So that's something that's a little new to me. I'm not 100% sold on the design. Kawasaki's are green, this is green. I wish it wasn't. That's it. The Supercharger seems pretty amazing. The engine and the powertrain, those are pretty wild. The fact that it's supercharged, and then I have to believe that even though Kawasaki won't release the boost figures, that there's probably a lot of meat on the bone here. Does that boost number go up when I do this? Of course it does. Of course it does. If I had to give this a rating, out of 10, I'd say it's a 7.1. A 7.1 is a solid score, but it's not a great bike. It's just a very good bike. Let's just go gentle with it. It's extremely comfortable, so they've done that very well. On that note, bringing her back to the dealership. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace! 10 points Gryffindor. It does have a center stand, which is genuinely worth its weight in gold these days, for maintenance and for storage purposes.